It should be on the desktop at the very bottom. Did you minimize everything?
Oh, I see. Awesome. Okay, so as we are starting to read Shakespeare and we're starting to discuss some themes, I want you guys to keep those themes in mind as we get into how to read Shakespeare. So understanding Shakespeare can definitely be a daunting task. The words are different, the language is different. The themes, though, you will find that some of those stay the same. So think about themes and how you can connect those themes to your own personal life, and notice themes as you start to read through the play. So the question was asked last time, why can't I just read the Spark Notes? So I know that Spark Notes are a quick, easy way to get the idea of what's going on in the play, but I'm going to explain why we can't simply read the Spark Notes. It's the difference between this and this. This guy took the supplements alone. He's still kind of weak, scrawny if you will, and this guy ate a healthy diet, he worked out daily, and he used the supplements to enhance. So what I want you guys to think about is what that has to do with Shakespeare. So you can think of this as your supplement. So taking the supplement alone doesn't give you the full picture. So reading the No Fear Shakespeare, the Spark Notes, or the Cliff Notes with the original play, that is success, and that's going to give you a well-rounded experience, and it's going to help you figure out what's going on. So you can use this sort of text as a supplement to enhance the reading. So Spark Notes can be useful, but they shouldn't be considered the primary text. The play should be the primary text, and Spark Notes should be the supplement. So the Spark Notes are what you take in addition to actually reading the text and doing other work with that. So we're going to transition into some language questions and some activities that you guys are going to do on your own.
Perfect, thank you. So I'm going to pass out this sheet, and the directions are on top, and after I pass this out, I'm going to ask for a volunteer to read the directions, and we're also going to look at the questions at the end before we get going. Thank you, sir. All right, do we have a volunteer before we get into it? Do we have a volunteer to read the directions? James, thank you. Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
Below is an excerpt from the popular song called Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People. In column A, we have the original text. In column B, we have translated text into language that we can understand. You will notice that we have intentionally omitted some of the translated text for you to fill in. Use context clues to fill in the blanks in column B. When you are done translating, please answer the questions that follow.
All right, does anybody have any questions before we get started? Can someone explain what it means to use context clues to fill in the blanks? We talk about context a lot, but I just want to refresh our memory for this exercise. Go ahead.
Use the words around the blank to figure out what it is.
Perfect, so you use the words around it, right. And then, before you guys get started, I just want to read the question on the bottom to think about why you're going through this. So we'll answer that at the end, but I want you to think about it while you're going through it. Why do you think Foster the People use such unique language to tell this simple story? Jot down some ideas, then you're going to share with your partner, then we're going to share out as a group. So go ahead, we're going to walk around to facilitate this.
appreciated that. But the only person I really brought that up last week was not here. So.
I know,
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
It's a shame.
Just focus on
Yeah.
yourself. You like this song? No, it's cool.
Song is awesome. Song sucks. Well, I mean,
Keep your opinion to yourself.
that's your opinion.
I think it sounds violent.
Cigarettes sometimes.
All right. James, we're gonna come back to you on that, and you're gonna show us why it's violent.
It's not James smoking a cigarette.
I don't smoke cigarettes.
Alright, right now we're working independently. Next person who talks gets a demerit.
Was this Charles?
Sorry. We use demerits. Are you getting stuck on anything?
No, not particularly. Just trying to read this translation stuff.
Alright, so the first paragraph should give you guys a clue on how to translate the second two paragraphs. So what do you think those fun things are, based on context?
It's not, go ahead, gun in the closet.
Right?
There's a gun in the closet that was just the
So what may be the fun things to use with the gun?
bullets.
Yeah, that's great. Good use of context clues. How's everybody doing over here? So that was Alright, so we're gonna have another 2 minutes, guys.
So one more minute and then we'll start to come back together. And we're going to call on Sebastian to share your blanks that you filled in for column B.
He found a gun with 6 bullets in his father's closet with a box of other weapons that I don't know what they are.
Does everyone else agree with Sebastian? Did anyone have anything different? Raise your hand if you agreed with that. And does anyone have anything different? A different translation? James?
I said with a box of adult things, and what I mean by that. What I mean by that, guys, is very mature.
Okay, hold on, so I'm gonna stop you there, because I think we're going down a path that we don't need to go down right now.
No,
But thanks for sharing, maybe we can talk about that,
no,
or you can,
I meant like alcohol and things kids aren't supposed to play with.
okay. Alright, so,
Like, it could be all these things you're not supposed to play with.
okay,
I wrote other illegal stuff.
Yes.
perfect,
So maybe
okay.
fire. My dad has fireworks in his closet.
Yeah.
Good, that's the point, because it's kind of up for your interpretation, right?
Yes, exactly. Great.
Want me to keep going?
And yes, please.
All the other kids with the new fancy sneakers, you better run before he shoots you. You better run quicker than my bullet leaves my gun.
Oh, good run. Mhm.
I think that's spot on, does everybody agree with that? Okay, great, and what about the final question? Why do you think Foster the People use such unique language to tell this simple story? Jot down some ideas.
Hi.
Kyle, sorry.
I think to make it a more vivid image, because like when you're hearing the song, like they better run, outrun my gun. You can visualize them running, like
Okay.
trying to, like, escape
So-
the bullet.
Perfect, using imagery, so the author, in this case, it's the people who wrote the song, the author was using imagery in order to put something in our mind, right? To make it a little bit more interesting rather than saying, you better run fast, guys, right? That's not fun.
I said because it's a
That's how you're
song,
saying.
the songs have cool lyrics, they don't have stuff you say. So like when you listen to rap or something, you don't actually talk like that, but it sounds cool in a song.
Very nice, I like that a lot. Matt, yes, go ahead.
To get people to use the iTunes gift cards that they got for Christmas.
Okay, sure.
I have a-
You have something else to add? Okay.
Also, because like when I first listened to it, I didn't know the because I didn't listen to the lyrics,
Yeah.
and I thought it was just like just an uplifting song.
Right, right, so
maybe
has
it's-
everybody heard the song?
Maybe it's to hide the meaning. Hide
Okay.
The inner meaning of it.
Hide the meaning, okay, so it doesn't coincide. So I'm sure you guys have great ideas, but I want to go back to what we were talking about before, about the imagery and talking about to make it sound cool, right? So can you guys relate that to something, I want you guys to do our transition to our next activity. I'm seeing if someone can go out on a limb and relate that to what we've been talking about, to Othello. Why would we lead into Othello with this? Talking about cool imagery, using different words for imagery, again, imagery, using different words. Go ahead.
Are you saying that the language Shakespeare uses is cool, like rap?
Yeah, it's like the rap of their day. I know that might sound crazy, but to them it was very cool, and to us it will also be cool once we get through these activities. You gotta bear with me on this one.
And so thinking about the spark notes as we go into this next activity, translating is going to be something that you're going to have to do, and eventually it'll become more fluid and it'll flow easier. So that's why you can use spark notes to help you get some of these words that were used during Shakespeare's times that aren't used today. And that's why we want to get you guys in the practice of translating and putting things into your own words and into modern English. And that's what we're going to do right now with Othello. Yes?
So you would say that deciphering or understanding Shakespeare's language, that would be our objective today?
I would say it's essential to decipher language in order to find out themes in the plays that we're reading with Shakespeare.
Great. So now we're going to do the same activity, except we're going to use Shakespeare. Okay, so the directions are the exact same, but we're going to use an excerpt that we actually had on the board from our previous lesson, from our hook lesson. Okay, and then I'm going to read the question, the final question to think about while you're reading as well, before I pass it out. So what themes do you see in the above passages? You can look at Shakespeare's language, the translation, or both. Do you have a prediction about some major themes that may run through Othello based on the above passage? Okay? So we're going to take about 6 minutes or so to do the same exact activity.
Thank you, sir.
Is Brabantio a guy or a girl?
That's a guy. Yeah, I think we should do the first two. This is I think it's okay, just what do they think it means? And what do they values? And then actually, if you look to use the OED, to use the glossary, to use the other resource, these are the better tools. understand. And then this could be like, they have to put information, like they have to get the information from somewhere. And so we kind of, it's there, but there's other places to go.
And remember, you're going to be looking for some themes that we might have from Othello while you're filling in these blanks. Are you guys done here? Any questions? Especially in a play. All right, let's take another 2 minutes on this. If you guys aren't done filling the blanks, I want you to, it's okay, you can fill it in later. I want you to jump to the final question and jot down some thoughts on that. All right, finish your final thoughts. In the interest of time, I'm going to read my version of the right side, and so that you guys can check what you have there. All right. What's the reason for this horrible shouting? What's the matter? Sir, is everyone in your family at home? Are your doors locked? Why are you asking me that? For God's sake, sir, you've been robbed. Get dressed. Your heart's going to break. It's like half your soul's been ripped out. At this very minute, an old black ram is having sex with your little white lamb. Wake up, wake up. Ring a bell and wake up all the snoring citizens. If you wait too long, you'll have black grandchildren. Get up, I tell you. Are you crazy? Do you recognize my voice, noble lord? Not me. Who are you? My name's Rodrigo. I told you not to hang around my house. I've already told you quite plainly that my daughter will never marry you. Now you come here drunk to make trouble and startle me out of a sound sleep? Is that similar to what you guys had?
Sort of.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, so we're going to be learning and talking about some mature themes. Would anybody like to share what they had for the final box there, the theme of the passage? I forgot your name, Kyle?
Dial.
Go ahead.
I don't know if this is a theme, but there seems to be a lot of paranoia here.
Okay.
Because Rodrigo's asking, like, oh, is your family at home? I got a sense of paranoia. Might be wrong.
What's that paranoia about? Why might someone be paranoid?
And also, I put out another theme of like racism. They could go hand in hand about the black ram, which is I would assume that's Othello. So, yeah.
Great.
Does everybody agree? Have anything else to add about their predictions for the themes of Othello?
Can we pause? Or not?
Well, we're gonna run out of time
Okay.
pretty quickly.
So that about wraps it up for
You can
understanding
if you need
Othello
to.
and using resources. So remember that there are resources that you can use, whether they are Spark Notes, Clip Notes, the Oxford English Dictionary, and some resources that you guys are going to do for homework. So you're going to create your own resource that you can use while you are reading Othello. And this should be a sort of little dictionary for you to understand some of the words that might not be familiar.
So there are gonna be a lot of words that come up, and they're gonna be come up over and over again. And there are words like are, why, those types of things. So this is gonna be your reference sheet going forward. So you're gonna fill this out, and then you're gonna have it with you while you're reading Shakespeare to help you translate.